So I first saw this trailer maybe like a year ago, and I just thought
before pre-corona.
Probably pre-corona.
It was obviously shot pre-corona.
Pre-corona, I had saw this because I believe it was supposed to come out in 2020. It was pushed back because of corona, and I was interested because I saw Lakeith Stanfield. Out of new actors that are like recently come into popularity, he's probably my favorite. And I knew nothing about Fred Hampton before watching this trailer, and it wasn't until I watched the trailer.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know anything about Fred Hampton. That I kind of looked him up. That I got Jeffrey Hass's book, The Assassination of Fred Hampton, and kind of read about who he was. The horrible way that he died, and kind of the debauchery of like the trial that happened afterwards, which isn't really touched on in this movie at all.
Not at
but
all.
That, well, it's a note at the end of basically like the family.
Oh, the 12-year settlement.
The family took years to get any kind of settlement. That
they sued for $47 million and they settled for 1 point something.
Yeah.
After 12 years, which sucks.
The fact that after the raid that they tried to press charges on 8 of the Black Panthers inside of the building for attempted murder.
When the cops shot 99 times and they shot once.
Yes. They were on the floor. They were on the floor ducking from bullets, and they got charged with attempted murder. The only bullet that was fired by the Panthers was shot into the ceiling accidentally because Mark Clark was holding his shotgun. Yeah. I should go back. Let's start with kind of what happened with the raid first.
You want to start there?
Let's start there just so... and then we'll get into the movie, but I just want to explain because...
The police murdered Fred Hampton.
People should know that he was a Black Panther who was murdered by the police.
Straight up.
What had happened was at 3 a.m, the Black Panthers were staying at Fred Hampton's house. There was... I believe there was 12 of them inside. Might have been a couple more. But... They believe that someone might have been after Fred. He always kind of had heightened security just because he was getting these threatening letters. Pretty much all the Black Panther heads were getting sent these letters that were basically saying your life's in danger, which we later find out were written by the FBI to basically sow distrust among the Black Panthers. So... Mark Clark is the kind of head of security. He was brought in from Flint, Michigan, and they hear people on their front porch. Mark Clark goes to the front door to try to check it out. 2 bullets go through the front door. One misses Mark Clark. The other one hits Mark Clark right in the chest, killing him. Mark Clark is holding a shotgun. He's the head of security. As he's shot, it goes off. It hits the ceiling. And the police start firing into the house. They never announced that they're police. They're not in police uniforms. They later lied and said that they were all uniformed police and that they announced. They go in, and this is kind of where people realize that William ONeill, who had a blueprint of Fred Hampton's house, must have played a part. They start firing into the house.
This is not in the movie, so what are you basing that on? The book that you read? It's not implied that people had an idea that William ONeill was involved in the movie.
Later on.
Yeah. But why? People that survived at that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll explain. They go in...
And then we got to go back to the beginning, because you dove headfirst into something.
Well,
like someone who's...
yes. I want to explain that the event of why people know who Fred Hampton is.
Fair.
Of the police go into the house, they start rounding everybody up. They surround the room where Fred Hampton is sleeping. So they know what room he sleeps in, and they start firing into it. Fred Hampton is shot. He doesn't wake up. It's later found out that he was given sleeping medication.
Yeah.
one of the Panthers who's in the room with him starts pleading with the police, saying, "We have a pregnant woman inside. Please let us out." They go in. They take the Panther and Deborah Johnson, who is Fred Hampton's girlfriend, out. And one of the police enters. They look at Fred Hampton, who's been shot. They said, "He's still breathing. He's going to make it." And a second officer takes out his gun, points it at Fred Hampton's head, and shoots him twice, killing him. So what I wanted to say just so people know, like, that's the event that...
Yeah, but what you said, that they had people who survived the shooting, because the movie that we're doing, it's centered on Fred Hampton, but also the FBI informant,
Yes.
William ONeill. So what about the event
They
let people know that William ONeill specifically was involved? Because this is not covered
I shouldn't say William ONeill specifically. They started to know right away that
someone had tipped
someone
them off.
had to have tipped them off, because the police surrounded the room
They knew
Fred
where he
Hampton
was
was
in.
sleeping in, started firing at him. If you look at where the bullets were, most of them were around the head of the bed. So not only did they know which room he slept in, they knew where his bed was.
Yeah, got it.